What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Zeal Cigar review. I'm JB, and today we're going to be talking about something a little bit interesting. And, you know, me and Dave sat down and we did our kind of, our take on the top 25 cigar list of the year, right? And, I was reviewing it, editing it, and I was thinking about putting it up and letting you guys see our kind of banter and fun with it. And I might still put it up, but, yeah, I didn't really feel like I wanted to give them, I didn't want to give them any more play, I guess you could say, right? I mean, when you start seeing the same things over and over and over and over again, and then you look on the list and there's maybe like 3 tobacco farms, maybe 5 total that supply probably 90% of all that tobacco. So today I decided to go back and look at the history of 2024 and see what were the best cigars from Zeal Cigars of 2024. And we're going to talk about those all next on the Zeal Cigar Review. I have to be really honest. When I pulled up the numbers on the top cigars from Zeal Cigars of 2024, I was very surprised, and I wasn't surprised. And I'm really excited to kind of go through them and share them with you. So today, though, I'm going to be starting and smoking with the Whisky Sunset. Now, the Whisky Sunset is a African Cameroon, I believe grown in Nicaragua, binder filler, all Nicaraguan. So it's a really unique cigar. Carrie used to call it her like Thanksgiving cigar because it does have a very unique mix of like baker spices and a little bit of like a cinnamon twinge. But this cigar is like the perfect pairing with any kind of whiskey or bourbon, or if you're a part-time employee and you leave a bottle of tequila around, possibly tequila. And you know there's only one way to find out, and only one way to tell you guys what this Whisky Sunset tastes like. You know what we got to do.
We got to cut light in.
Right away you get hit with those sweet spices and a little bit of like some breadiness. This cigar is super tasty. I haven't smoked one in a while. If I had to compare it to anything, I would say if you took AJ's New World Cameroon and you made it a little bit sweeter, a little bit smoother, a little bit lighter, you would get this Whisky Sunset. It's a very tasty cigar. Even right off the first light, burning through that closed foot, it's super good. The retrohale is just sweet, smooth, a little bit of like that baker spice on the back end. This is a very tasty cigar, but this isn't the only cigar I have here. I actually have the top 6 cigars from 2024 for Zeal Cigars. And number 1, the Whisky Sunset. It's not a surprise to me. This is an absolute incredible smoke, and to get a Cameroon that tastes like this and not be too earthy is a winner for me. And I love the sweetness that this packs. We'll mix it with some tequila in a minute, but let's talk about some of these others. Every year, every week, every month is the same. The Spice Cream. Specifically, the Box Press Toro. It is one of the most consistent Connecticut's that we make. It has been, year over year, has been just an absolute amazing cigar. It's a fan favorite, and it is one of my personal favorites that I keep in my humidor at home at a regular basis. If I'm going to be smoking a Connecticut in the morning with a cup of coffee, it's going to be a Robusto in the Spice Cream. Specifically the Robusto for me, because I smoke this cigar really slow. So I take that extra inch off and it's a little bit easier to, you know, slow down. This thing is all Nicaraguan. And then it's got a Habano brother in the King's Envy and a Maduro brother in the King's Comeback. That King's Comeback is so smooth and chocolatey. Oh, that's such a great cigar. Anybody that's like, I'm a Connecticut smoker and I don't smoke Maduros, if I put one of those in their hand, they want more of them. The Spice Cream, tried and true. This next one on the list is probably the biggest surprise for me personally, and that is the Crop Circles. Just a fun, goofy, middle-of-the-road Habano that's got eyeballs or Buckeye nuts or things on it that are, really interesting. And it does add a really unique flavor to the cigar when you hit these different stripes of wrapper leaf. Dave loves this cigar. There's a lot of people that come in that love this cigar. It's not the first one that I'm gonna grab off the shelf. It's just for me, it's very medium. It is a good cigar, but it's just not one that I enjoy smoking on a regular basis. Apparently I'm wrong. That's the Crop Circles, probably the most surprising to me. The next one on the list was one of the newer ones of 2024 for Zeal, and that was the Papa Hawk. Now what you're looking at here with the Papa Hawk is actually 4 wrappers. You're looking at a Candela, a Connecticut, a Habano, and a Maduro. And what's unique about this is not only does it add another layer than the Irish Hawk has on it, but it's also Nicaraguan tobacco, whereas the Irish Hawk is Dominican tobacco. So this thing is going to pack a little bit more of a full-bodiedness to it. However, if you don't like a lot of change, and you're like me, and you're a creature of habit, and you don't want things to change, this may not be the cigar for you. Every single puff on this cigar is something different and unique. It's a very weird cigar to smoke. It's definitely, I'm not surprised it made the list. Another one that surprised me a little bit, it's a popular one around the shop, and that's because it's unique in its own right, and I'll kind of go over why I like this cigar for especially newer smokers, and that's the Nightcap. Now, the Nightcap's really cool because, you know, in the cigar industry, rumor is 70% of the flavor comes from the wrapper leaf. Well, there's an easy way to find out when you smoke something like this. When you smoke the first third of this Nightcap, you get a really sweet, smooth smoking Connecticut. Then it kind of lulls you to sleep with this smooth, medium, you know, middle of the road, little bit of woodiness in this Habano. And then it kind of picks back up, smacks you around a little bit with a little bit of a Maduro at the end. But this is a really interesting cigar to smoke through and kind of see how a wrapper leaf could change the same cigar that you're smoking from beginning to end. I'm a little bit surprised again that, like the Crop Circles, these are kind of funky little guys, man. They're not necessarily, this one's not as novelty as the Crop Circles, but they're a little bit novelty. And I'm surprised that they've been big ones for 2024. And last but not least, there is one cigar that I live close enough that if I don't have it in my humidor and I want to smoke it, I will walk my butt and open this building up and grab one. And that's the Liga Midnight. The Liga Midnight is a rich Oscuro Maduro wrapped around Nicaraguan binder and filler. It's got a little bit of Lajero in it, but not much, just a tad. This thing is really, really good. But this thing smokes smooth, nutty, rich, nice full-bodiedness, but it doesn't have any spice or pepper to it, which makes it an absolute pleasure to smoke, especially in the evening. You know, Liga Midnight blend, right? It's a very good smoke. I thoroughly enjoy this cigar. I also like smoking this one on the golf course because of the pigtail. You just bite, rip it off, smoke it on the course. But I'm not surprised this one made the list either. This is an amazing cigar. It is it's been around since the inception of Zeal Cigars, as has the Spice Cream. So, you know, when you look back and you think about those being here over the last 6 years through a lot of different things. It's really awesome to see that there's still a couple cigars from the beginning that continue to keep on this list of the top cigars of 2024, essentially. That's been the top 6 cigars of 2024 for Zeal Cigars. And again, I'll go through them again really quickly. The Whiskey Sunset, which I'm going to tell you more about. The Papa Hawk. The Crop Circles. The Spice Cream Box Press Toro. The Nightcap. And the Liga Midnight Robusto Grande. Now for me, back to this Whiskey Sunset, this isn't any time of day smoke for me, but I will say, one of my most favorite pairings that I found with this cigar so far, especially in the evening, was rum. I'm not a big rum drinker. There's a guy that comes in, he's a good friend of ours, and he just loves drinking rum. He loves just talking about rum, loves the way that it's made, loves the way it tastes, loves talking about the different brands. The dude loves rum. Okay, why is the rum gone? He loves rum. Captain Morgan, with the spice, with the light like allspice that you get out of this, like the nutmeggy, the cinnamoniness, goes super good with Captain Morgan. I was super surprised. I usually smoke this with like Buffalo Trace, little Jack Daniels, Four Roses, Woodford, Russell's. I haven't tried the Willet yet, but since Kevin decided to leave a bottle of tequila around here, which was a bad idea. we're gonna try some of his tequila with the Whiskey Sunset, which I don't drink a lot of tequilas with my cigars. I do like tequila, and I drink a lot of tequila. Well, I don't drink a lot of tequila, but I have a lot of different kinds of tequila that I like to sip on, you know what I mean? But I am interested to see how that's gonna pair with the tequila. And it looks like, what do we got here? We got a Corazon de Agave, Reposado, Single Estate, Tequila. Don't ask what time it is. Ooh, that smells pleasant. Kevin, this is not your tequila. Ooh, that's woody. I don't know if this is gonna go good. It does have some sweetness, but it's got some barrel to it. I'm not a huge fan of the aftertaste. Like the couple whiffs of air you get once all the smoke is gone. Wasn't a big fan of that. But the initial pairing right away seemed pretty good. The tequila really brings out the light spice that's on the cigar. It basically gets rid of any of the sweet vanilla notes that you get from the Whiskey Sunset. The tequila pretty much takes that away right away. Is it a good pairing? It's not bad. I would much rather do bourbon or Captain Morgan or another rum with this Whiskey Sunset than I would that Reposado. Maybe like an extra añejo from like Costco has an extra añejo that's really tasty. Lots of vanilla on it though. Man, that's good. I'm a huge fan of Cameroon cigars, and this is no different. It's definitely gonna be on the lighter, sweeter side of your Cameroons, which is kind of cool. It's a really interesting, smoke, especially considering it's Nicaraguan. But let me smoke this down a little bit more, and I'll catch back up with you guys in about the second third somewhere. Be right back. All right, so we're back with the second third of the Whiskey Sunset, and I just got to a point where it started to transition into a little bit more of that sweet, light spice that kind of tingles the nostrils. You get a little bit of some like graham cracker sweetness that comes and goes. Very good cigar. Before I step away and smoke this down into the final third, tell me what your favorite Zeal House Brand cigars are. 3 of mine are on this list. Whiskey Sunset, Spice Cream, Liga Midnight. A couple that I would add to this that are my personal favorites though. The Twisted Fate, specifically in the box pressed, Primordial Maduro. Primordial Maduro is one of my favorite cigars. If you get 2 people lighting that up in the same room, it smells like brownies. And then I actually really enjoy the Sanitarium Connecticut. And of course, the Madhouse Maduro, the cigar that I begged Brad 6 months to bring in as a customer and as an employee. It's one of my favorite cigars to this day, still. It's like a poor man's Jaime, just not a broadleaf. Well, I'm going to step away, guys, and smoke this down into the final third, and I'll be right back to tell you guys about this Whiskey Sunset. All right, we're getting down into the final third of this Whiskey Sunset here, and really good cigar. It does get a little bit more of like a leather note to it as you get towards the end, especially if you smoke it a little hot, but it is a super tasty cigar. I love most of these cigars. I'll be honest, the Crop Circles is probably the only one I don't smoke on a regular basis. The Papa Hulk I smoke probably more frequently than the Nightcap. But the Spice Cream and the Liga Midnight, man, I smoke those very, very regularly. So, with that, guys, it's been the top 6 cigars from Zeal Cigars of 2024. And let me know in the comments below. Have any of you guys gotten to try any of these cigars? Have you guys enjoyed them? What are your top favorite cigars from Zeal Cigars? And with that, guys, gotta get back to work. Peace.